Hello everyone, Grand Captain Speedy Dash here. Last time on What If Cooler Adopted Kakarot, Broly joins the Cooler Force. How will Broly joining Cooler's Sand Force affect future events? Find out now. Kakarot takes Broly into the gravity chamber to help Broly control his power. Broly keeps losing control with Kakarot struggling to knock Broly out. Cooler heads off to Beerus' planet where he starts getting personal training from Beerus. Beerus makes clear that he wants Cooler to become the god of destruction after him. Whis interrupts the training because the Grand Prix requires Beerus' presence on the sacred planet of the Kais, with Beerus deciding to bring Cooler along for the ride. On the sacred planet of the Kais, the Grand Prix announces that Zeno is holding the Tournament of Power soon. All Supreme Kais and Gods of Destructions are required to attend, but Universe 7 is exempt from participating in the tournament because their mortal level is high enough. Meanwhile, a string of attacks from some insect man drinking people is causing trouble on Earth, which King Cold has to handle. King Cold pulls Nappa and Raditz to go investigate the issue. Nappa and Raditz head out and shortly find themselves searching a forest for the Insect Man. While searching, their target sneaks up on them and absorbs them both. While Cell is admiring its perfect form, Kakarot and Cooler both teleport in, feeling the massive surge of ki. Cooler demands an answer of what is going on, with Cell more than happy to gloat about itself. Kakarot goes Blue Evolution and rushes in, beginning to fight Cell. Cell quite effortlessly beats Kakarot, with Cooler taking over the fight. Golden Cooler starts fighting Cell, but Cell is dominating Cooler. Cooler and Kakarot are shocked at how strong Cell is, but Cooler admits he's been hiding something and begins transforming. Black Cooler has an edge over Cell, but Cell seeing Cooler transform like that makes Cell try to surpass his limits and is able to achieve his own transformation. Cell in his own black form once again begins dominating Cooler. Cooler is doing everything he can, but it's ineffective against Cell until Cooler manages another transformation. Cell is confused about Cooler transforming even further, with Cooler rushing in more vicious than before, with the fight ending as Cell is erased by Cooler's new power. Kakarot is shocked by Cooler's new power, with Cooler being surprised as well. Beerus congratulates Cooler and states that he was right in thinking Cooler would make a great god of destruction. Cooler is shocked that the new form was him manifesting the power of a god of destruction. Whis reveals that he saved Raditz and Nappa before they were erased. Kakarot is a bit in the dark, but Cooler explains that Beerus wants him to take over as the next god of destruction, and Beerus states that he thinks Cooler is already ready. Cooler tells Kakarot to hold the Tenkaichi Budokai and that he should return before the tournament is over to make an announcement, but he has to accompany Beerus as the apprentice god of destruction. Kakarot and Bulma make the final preparations for the 24th Tenkaichi Budokai, including allowing a couple of robots from a young genius inventor to enter. The finalists are Nappa, Birder, Gamma 1, Jice, Tien, Naz, Salza, and Gamma 2. Nappa and Birder enter the ring for the first match of the tournament. Birder tries his best to use his speed to beat Nappa, but ultimately Nappa is able to knock Birder out of the ring before leaving the ring himself. Gamma 1 and Jice enter the ring for the next match. Jice tries his hardest, but quickly gets overwhelmed and knocked out of the ring before it leaves the ring itself. Tien and Nez enter the ring for the next match. Nez tries his hardest, but Tien is able to use his techniques to knock Nez out of the ring before leaving the ring himself. Salza and Gamma 2 enter the ring for the next match. Gamma 2 easily beats Salza, knocking him out of the ring before it leaves the ring itself. Nappa and Gamma 1 enter the ring for the first match of the semifinals. Gamma 1 forces Nappa to go Super Saiyan Blue, which puts Gamma 1 at a disadvantage, but Gamma 1 shortly adapts and begins pushing Nappa back. Nappa tries his hardest, but Gamma 1 is able to unbalance him and knock him out of the ring before it leaves the ring itself. Tien and Gamma 2 enter the ring for the second match of the semifinals. Gamma 2 struggles a bit because of Tien's techniques, but ultimately it is able to get around them and knock him out of the ring before it leaves the ring itself. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 enter the ring for the final match of the tournament. Gamma 2 starts off strong, but Gamma 1 patiently fights, waiting for his opportunity, and finds it with Gamma 1 knocking Gamma 2 out of the ring. Cooler arrives just in time to see Gamma 1 win the tournament and comes into the ring to congratulate Gamma 1 before asking what prize for victory does it want. Gamma 1 states he wants to take the challenge for the wish on the Dragon Balls. Cooler states that he'll be the opponent this time and that Gamma 1 needs to be ready to fight. The fight starts with Gamma 1 pushing back Cooler until Cooler goes golden and starts pushing back Gamma 1. Gamma 1 quickly adapts and begins matching Cooler. Cooler is impressed by Gamma 1 and how Gamma 1 hasn't slowed down any in the tournament, with Gamma 1 explaining that as an android he can stay at full strength until he runs out of energy. As the fight continues, Cooler decides to power up further, going Black Cooler and quickly knocking Gamma 1 out of the ring. After calling Kakarot out onto the ring for his announcement, Cooler announces that he's gonna shortly assume the role as God of Destruction for their universe. Cooler continues that he'll be retiring from the Cooler Force effective immediately, with his son Kakarot being his replacement as Emperor. Kakarot is shocked and was caught completely off guard, but states that he'll keep the name as the Cooler Force in honor of Cooler, and will try his hardest to continue to improve the Empire into the future. This is where I'll end the series. How did you like my take on what if Cooler adopted Kakarot? If you enjoy my content, check out my Discord to see the community I'm building, and like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any money to spare, maybe consider throwing a little of it my way. And as always, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are.